Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, I got a bunch of people waiting. It's Diego here in the Panhandle of Florida, near Pensacola. Still waiting for the welcome letter from the National Visa Center. We're good though. We got a case number finally. After two inquiries, they decided to give me a case number. And if you're new to the channel, I'm Diego. I'm waiting for my K2 visa. And Karina is in Bogota, Colombia. And she's off today. She didn't have to work today, so she's at home. She's probably watching the live stream. Now, I started the live stream early, okay, because I had a bunch of people waiting. I had 7 people waiting. Now I've got 8 people, so we're going. All right. Now, you guys, you're going to get your K1 visa. You're going to get it. Got to be positive. You got to stay strong, okay? And you got to keep a positive attitude. All right. Keep your positivity. I don't want to see negativity. You're going to get your K1 visa. Now, the only reason you won't get your K1 visa is if you don't qualify. Okay. So if you submit a K1 visa package and then it goes to USCIS and they get it and then they approve it, then they send it to the National Visa Center. They look at it and they find errors. If the National Visa Center finds mistakes in your K1 visa that's just been approved, they'll send it back to USCIS. The NVC don't have the authority to deny visas, only USCIS and the embassy. And Tina's in the house. Tina, hello, Diego and Karina. Tina, how are you? We hope you're doing well. We hope your family is doing well and you're hanging in there. Mr. Najas, hi Diego, congratulations on my case number. Well, thank you, Mr. Najas, and no worries. We are so laid back and relaxed, we're good. We got the case number, but I sent 2 inquiries, one after the other. I want to find out what's going on with the embassy in Bogota. Well, I know the embassy in Colombia is open, and the NVC sent me an email telling me they were closed because of COVID, but they're not. They're wide open. Okay. So I sent the NVC a second, third, and a fourth inquiry and said, okay, guys, why are you telling me this stuff? Because it's not just affecting me, it's affecting lots of other people in Colombia. And I'm telling everybody, if you're in, if you have a beneficiary in Colombia, the embassy's open. So don't believe the emails from the NVC. Don't believe them. Let's see. Isaac Medrano. Hey, Diego. How are you? Doing great. Julia and Isaac here from Brazil. Beautiful. Yeah, Brazil. We got a ready status. What's the next step? Now you need to email the embassy in Rio de Janeiro and check in. Say, look, this is my beneficiary's name. This is her passport number. This is her date of birth. Email the embassy and say, hey, we got our ready status. Do that, because they're going to send you an email called a packet 4, which is a list of things that you need to bring to the embassy interview in Rio de Janeiro. Then you need to go into the SIAC account and then go into Brazil, look for the country of Brazil in U.S. travel documents, U.S. travel docs, and see if you can schedule your visa interview. Pay the visa fee, or you may have to fill out the DS-260 first. It depends on the embassy in Brazil, the Rio de Janeiro. I can't remember if they make you fill out the DS-160 first. Then you pay the visa fee. Then you schedule the visa interview. Okay, but go into the SIAC account and see if you can get started. Putherieth Chia. Hi Diego, I just got my case number. Good. Today after 3 inquiries. You got it after 3. Good deal. I got mine after 2. But I sent 2 more. I sent them another 2 because they're telling me stories. I don't like being told stories. If the embassy's busy, tell me they're busy. But they're not even overwhelmed, okay? They are and they're not. The embassy in Bogota is probably one of the busiest embassies in the world right now. But that's okay if they're busy. That's great. Lots of people are getting their visas. We'll wait our turn. We don't mind waiting our turn. Just don't tell me a story. So good job there for your case number, okay? Serena KJ, hey Diego, congratulations on the case number. Thank you. Keith Herod, hi Diego, in the Philippines, does fiance have to have money in bank account before interview? Does the fiance, you talking the sponsor or the beneficiary? The sponsor, it's a good idea to have money in the bank, right? So you can pay for plane tickets and visas and stuff like that. The beneficiary doesn't have to have any money in his or her bank account. No, it's irrelevant. The immigration are only concerned about the sponsor. Can the sponsor sponsor the beneficiary? That's all they care about. And how big is the family size? And they figure the family size from the I-134. So Keith, to answer your question, beneficiary doesn't need any money in the bank. Sponsor, it would be a good idea, yes. Mr. Nahas, I'm going to send an inquiry today. Good, get on it. Send it. That's a good idea. Diana Figueroa, hello, Diego. We scheduled our interview today. Look at you. November 15th in Guatemala. NOA2, July 26th. Well, great job. That's excellent, Diana. Excuse me, guys. I got a chest cold or something. Mr. Rody 14. Hello, my fellow Diego. Hello, my fellow Diego. Please pass my welcome to Karina. I am joyed to tell you as of 3 p.m. today, we received our NOA2 letter. Mr. Rody 14. Now, you are a sponsor of this channel, your YouTube channel. You sponsor this channel. You help. And I knew that you were going to get your NOA2 letter. I had no doubt about it. No question about it. And congratulations. Tina, what would be a good idea to submit as wedding plans with my I-129F packet? Here's what I would do. I would email the courthouse or find who's going to marry you, first of all. Have you found somebody to marry you? Have you found a priest, a pastor, a clerk of the court, a wedding officiant? Find a person who's going to marry you. And then whoever that person is, send them an email and say, hey, I'm in a K-1 visa process. I'm going to submit my visa package soon. We would like you to be our wedding officiant or attend to our wedding. And then that person will email you back and say, well, oh, great, Tina, congratulations. I would love to be your wedding officiant. I would love to help you. Doesn't matter who it is. It could be the county courthouse. It could be a church. It could be a wedding officiant. Doesn't matter. Get those emails going first. Get about 4 or 5 emails back and forth talking about the wedding, okay? If you have a Facebook account, put on your Facebook account, you're engaged to be married to your beneficiary, to your sponsor. Sponsor, beneficiary need to be connected in Facebook as engaged to each other. If you have a Facebook account, print that and talk about your wedding plans on Facebook. Print that or Instagram, whatever it is you use. Nong Vang, Envy Homes. Hi, Diego. I emailed an inquiry last week about my visa case, but forgot to also mention the invoice ID number. They replied to me today of my visa case number, but didn't on invoice. Well, the embassy is going to give the invoice. You got to wait for the embassy ready status to get the invoice number. Debbie, hi, Diego. I got my ready status, but there's no invoice number. You got to wait. Debbie, good job. If you got ready status, no invoice number, the embassy may not require an invoice number. Email the embassy, send them an email, and ask them, hey, this is my beneficiary, this is the passport number, date of birth, name, etc. Identify your beneficiary and ask for the invoice number. See what they say. Can I call the NVC? Nong Van, can I call the NVC? No, you can't call the NVC. They won't take your calls. Can you send another inquiry? Absolutely. Boom, I've already sent 4. I sent 2 and got my case number. I sent 2 more to tell them to ship my visa package to the embassy in Bogota. I'm done. I don't want to hear these excuses. Kingsley Gordon. Hey, Diego, I just checked our case today. It's in transit from the NVC. What do we do next? Well, now you're going to wait, Kingsley Gordon, for the ready status from the embassy. Do we start our DS-160? No, you don't. You wait until you get the ready status. When the U.S. Embassy in Taiwan says they're ready for you, then you fill out the DS-160. Then you pay the visa fee. Then you schedule the interview. Then you get the medical exam scheduled. All right, you got it? Sasha Lee, hi, Diego. I got ready status today. What should I do? Well, if you like, if you got ready status, email the embassy and check in with them. Identify your beneficiary, name, passport number, case number, invoice number, whatever you got, date of birth. Say, hey, dear Mr. Embassy, Miss Embassy, help me. I got my ready status. What do I do? They'll tell you what to do. They'll email you a packet for. It gets an email, Punet Kaur. The packet 4 is going to be an email. Your beneficiary may get one mailed to her in her home country. It's a possibility depending on how good the mail is in your beneficiary's home country. If, Colombia, getting mail in Colombia is not the easiest thing to do. So they'll probably just send it to me. Sasha Lee, should I wait on the email from the embassy to submit my DS-160? Sasha Lee, wait for the ready status from the embassy. When they say when the embassy's ready for you, then you can submit the DS-160. Okay, but the embassy's got to be ready for you. If they're not ready for you, they're not going to know. They're not going to be able to help you. Y05, hey Diego, what's going on, Charlie? How's everything? How's your fiance in Venezuela? Is she holding up? Is she doing good? Susie Goldemes, hello Diego. Susie, what's going on, Susie? John K, hi Diego, my fiance only had one slot for the interview date in Cambodia, and it's November 30th. Well, get it. Jump in there and get that slot. There's no other dates available before that time and nothing else for the year. The wait feels so long. Okay, it's going to be November before you know it, okay? Get that November 30th slot. Punch it in there. Put your name on it, or your beneficiary's name on it, and then kick back and wait till November. It's not that far away. It's right around the corner, okay? It's going to be here before you know it. You're going to wake up and go, hey, wow, it's almost Christmas. The wait feels long. Yes, it does. But you got to just get through it. Got to stay busy. Busy, 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 busy. Don't be moping around the house. Don't be thinking about it. Don't be checking the case status every day. Stay busy. Go to work. Do your job. Make a project. Get a hobby. And stay busy. And stay in touch with your beneficiary. Keep in contact with her or him. Get on the phone. Do the WhatsApp chat. Whatever. Kaiser H. Hello, Diego. Do you know that the U.S. consulate in Mumbai, India, do allow the petitioner to attend the K1 fiancé interview? I was told two things. Yes, they can. Okay, they can in Mumbai, but sometimes, depending on how busy the embassy is, they won't let you in. Then you have to sit outside and wait on a bench. It depends. If there's nothing going on in the embassy, they may let you in there, but I would say they don't, but go to the embassy, go in there and ask to go in. If they're not busy, if there's no stress, if they're not overwhelmed with applicants, then you should be all right. All right, just go in and ask. Susie Goldemes, that's exactly what I did. Emailed the courthouse and they responded. Great job, Susie. Now print those emails. Okay, print those emails and wait a little while and email them again. Check in with the courthouse and say, I'm just doing a follow-up with the courthouse, just to check in with you guys to let you know that I'm still in a K1 visa process, and thank you for your help in getting me and helping me put my wedding plans together. Send that. Then wait for their reply and print it. Put that in a folder of wedding plans. You could make a folder of wedding plans. Okay, that's a wedding plan right there. Buy some wedding invitations. Go to Walmart or Publix or Office Depot or wherever and buy a packet of wedding invitations and keep the receipt. Tape the receipt to a piece of paper like this. Okay, so you got a piece of paper like this. You take the receipt right here, and at the top, you're going to put wedding invitations. Receipt for our wedding plans are in place. Here are the wedding invitations. And this is the receipt or whatever. Make up something. And those are wedding plans. Buying wedding invitations. What does it cost you? $5, $10? And then put that in your K1 visa package. And bring that information to the visa interview at the embassy in case they ask you, do you have any wedding plans? Oh, well, yeah. Here are my emails to the courthouse. Here are my wedding invitations that I purchased, etc. Find a restaurant that you want to have a little reception in. If you find a little restaurant, email the restaurant, say, hey, dear Mr. Restaurant owner, I'm in a K-1 visa process. I'm going to get married here in America. We're thinking about having a little get-together at your restaurant. Can you accommodate? The restaurant will email you back, yes or no. But either way, whatever they respond, print that email. That's wedding plans. Post on your Instagram. Hey, I'm engaged. We're going to get, post on your Facebook page. We're engaged. Boom, boom. Put a connection together. Talk about your wedding on Facebook with your friends. You don't have to make it public. You can keep it private, but print those pages off of Facebook. Here are my wedding plans. Here are pictures, whatever. Look, go to a store, go to a wedding dress store in wherever you live in the USA or in your home country. Karina went to look at wedding gowns and wedding dresses in Bogota. I was with her. I took pictures of her looking at wedding dresses. I printed those. Pictures of Karina looking at wedding dresses in Bogota. This is the date. This is the location. This is the person, Karina. Karina, on this day, I think it was back in June or July of 2022 or 2021, long time ago. I included that in the K-1 visa package. Let's see here. I don't want to miss anybody. So S. Juarez, hello Diego and Karina, sent another inquiry. Good. Keep on sending inquiries till they get you an answer. Okay. Y05, Diego, by chance will you be able to get the email address to inquire for passport status from Karina? Karina told me that your beneficiary, okay, needs to go to the office, the passport office in Caracas. Your beneficiary, your fiance lives in Caracas, right? Or Madrina, just outside of Caracas. She needs to go to the passport office face to face. Communication with Venezuelan internet and emails, and it's terrible. It's horrible. It's not good. You got to do it face to face. Your fiance needs to go to the office in Caracas that processes passports, go in and introduce herself and say, what's the status of my passport? Karina said emails is a waste of time right now. They don't even respond to it. Let's see. Kingsley Gordon, thank you, Diego. You've been a great help. We appreciate all your videos. Well, they're your videos. Wish you nothing but the best. One love. Well, Kingsley, we appreciate that. Karina I'm pretty sure she's either bathing the cat because, the Tokyo, our cat, got up in the roof and was climbing around in the roof. So his paws got all dirty. So I think she's cleaning the cat's feet. He was a bad kitty cat, climbed up in the roof yesterday night. He's the boss of the house. He wanted to be the king of the house, so he climbed up in the roof and he wanted to get a good view of the city of Bogota. So he got a vista. He got a 360-degree view of the city through the window. It's a little tiny window, but he went up in the roof, and Karina spent an hour trying to get him down. Oh, I tell you, what can I say? Francois Livingston, good evening, Diego and Karina. Francois, glad to see you here. Jeff Mantalk, Diego, my fiance's oldest son, already has a visitor's visa to come to the U.S., so he's got a B2. Will he still need to have a medical exam for the K2? Jeff Mantalk, yes. Everybody coming to America on a K1 or a K2 or a spousal visa has to have a mandatory physical. Now, if you don't have all the vaccinations in place, okay, don't worry. You can get them done in America, but you got to get all the vaccinations done, whether it's in your beneficiary's home country or in the United States, before you adjust the status for green card. It's mandatory that your K1 and K2s have a physical, a medical exam. Doesn't matter how old the kid is. The child could be 6 months old, 1 year old, 10 years old, 18 years old, 20 years old. Can't go above 20. Okay, then you don't qualify. If you're 21, you don't qualify for the visa. But children on a K2 have to have a medical exam. Okay, and the civil surgeon will send it or give it to you, Mr. Beneficiary, Miss Beneficiary, to bring to the visa interview. And then the children attend with the mom or the dad at the visa interview. You got a 10-year-old kid, the immigration officer may ask the child the question, you know, are you going to miss your friends when you leave the Philippines? Whatever it could be. Do you know anything about your mom's future husband? 10, 12 years old, they could get a question. Uh, let's see. Okay, Jeff, you got it, Jeff? Yes, the answer is yes. Chloe, what happens if you didn't do I-130 form when you did the packet I-129F? Chloe, if you're in a K-1 visa packet, if you're in a K-1 visa, you don't need to fill out an I-130. It's irrelevant. It's got nothing to do with a K-1 visa. Don't worry about it. If you didn't fill out an I-130 and you are in a K-1 fiance visa, it's not required. If you are in a spousal visa, you fill out the I-130 without the I-129F. I don't know. Chloe, are you in a spousal visa or fiance visa? I need to know that. Whoop slap. Hello, my friend. So happy for you. I bet you are in transit on the 27th of this month. Whoop slap. You said the 27th. Okay. So that's what, 9 days. Let's see how close you are. Let's see if Karina's visa gets in transit by the 27th. Whoop slap. Let's see. Kaiser H. Diego, did you get any update on the Form I-134, which is the Declaration of Financial Support? That's exactly what it's called, Kaiser H. Declaration of Financial Support. And you can still use the current edition. Okay. Use the one that's on the USCIS.gov/forms website. You can use that form, I-134. You don't worry about it. It's expired. Don't worry. You can still use it right now, September 18th, 2023. Susie, I will definitely do that. Exactly. And thanks. Yes, Susie. You got to have an email trail with the courthouse, with the wedding officiant, with the church, whoever. Karina and I, we got a wedding officiant, Captain Bill. He lives in Navarre, Florida, which is on the beach. We're going to get married on the beach. I email him back and forth every now and then, say, hey, Captain Bill, this is Diego and Karina checking in. Where we got the case status now. We got a case number. So now we're just waiting for the process to proceed a little bit further, and then soon we'll be here. And then you'll be marrying us, putting us as man and wife. Boom. That email is going out tomorrow. All right. Then he'll reply back to me, very short and sweet. Congratulations, well done. Okay, keep me posted, whatever. Then I'll print that email dated September 19th, 2023. Those are wedding plans. So when we go to the visa interview, if the embassy officer asks Karina for wedding plans, well, we got an email stacked like that. We'll say, have at it. Knock yourself out. Tashalin's World. Diego, I forgot to take a picture of the receipt for the visa. What can I do? You forgot to take a picture of the receipt for what visa? For the interview? For the interview. Tashalin's World. You forgot to take a picture of the receipt. Are you talking about the visa interview at the embassy? You don't have it. You got to have it. You're going to have somebody's going to have to go to the bank, wherever it was paid to, and get a copy of that receipt. If it was for the visa interview. If you're paying for the visa interview, you got to get that receipt, the MERV receipt. Got to have it. Sanila Sunny, this channel really helps. I highly appreciate your help. Sanila Sunny, we are here for you. We're going to pull you over the finish line, get you into that K1 visa mode. Get the visa in your passport and on a plane. Now, not everybody. There's a small percentage of folks that don't get a K1 visa. They don't qualify. Morocco has been an embassy where, there's been a lot of denials and the embassy's not giving reasons. And more than likely it's because the person didn't qualify. But today, there was 2 approvals for Morocco. So last week there was a few denials. This week there have been approvals. You got to qualify for the benefit. You got to be confident. When you go into the visa interview, nothing should be messed up on the dates. If they ask Karina what day did we get engaged, she's going to say, boom, December 1st. She knows the day. When did we have our engagement party? We had it December 24th. Why December 2021? Or why December 24th? Well, it's been during Christmas. Everybody's on vacation. Her brothers, her nephews, her nieces, her friends. Everybody's on vacation during Christmas. So we had an opportunity where they weren't at work. They were not working. They were on vacation. We had a little party at our apartment. And I got plenty of room in Bogota. Our apartment in Bogota, we got the whole top floor. So we got all this space. So we had an engagement party. Took bunches of pictures. Okay. Those went in the K1 visa package. All right. They might ask Karina, did you have an engagement party? Yeah, we did. December 24th. Why did you have it over Christmas? Well, that's when everybody's on vacation and we can get the family together. There's the question. There's the answer. That's the question. There's the answer. And when you go to the visa interview, okay, wear business casual. Don't wear jeans. Don't wear halter tops. Don't wear T-shirts. Wear business casual. Dress nice. Make it like you're going to a job interview. All right. You're going to a job interview and be polite and smile. And the immigration officer, depending on the country, may try to be stern and maybe trying to make you angry, may get grumpy with you, give you a tough question. That he knows or she knows you cannot answer. There's no answer to it. They could. You just say, I'm sorry, I don't know the answer to that, and smile. They're trying to see if your relationship is real. So some immigration officers have already figured out you guys are good, whoever, and they don't act like that. But there's some cases where they don't quite trust the applicant, and then they will throw those curveballs. Okay? But it's very rare they'll do that. But just be ready. And don't respond angrily. Respond with a smile. This is the answer to the question. Okay? Getting through a K1 visa interview isn't difficult. I've been to 3, K1, spousal, okay, 2, correction. But no 3. And then I had to go for a separate one for my first K1. She had a K2. It was a nightmare. I don't want to even get into it, but it's not difficult. So let's see here. I don't want to miss anybody's questions, okay? Susie, yeah, Susie, you can do that. Get those wedding plans, get those emails going. In Tashalin's world, you got to get a copy of that MERV receipt. If you've paid for your visa, you got to get a copy of the receipt, okay? You got to have it. Jin Ganesh, hi Diego. Diego, hello from Guyana, beautiful Guyana. How many days does it take from transit to ready status? It'll probably take about a week to 2 weeks in Guyana. No problem. You're good. Ashley Santana, just tuning. What are you tuning? Are you tuning a guitar? Or are you tuning into the show? Come on now. Don't miss a show, Ashley. We need you here. Your input is very important to everybody, okay? Susie Goldemus, thanks for the information. Francois deleted a message. How am I supposed to answer your question, Francois, if you delete it? Ashley Santana, Diego, you got your case number? Yeah, I got the case number after 2 inquiries. Okay, now I'm up to 4 inquiries. I'm on number 4 because they're telling stories to me. Francois, haven't been on, but did you and Karina get good news? Francois, we got a case number. So that's a step in the right direction. Ashley, Diego, can you name the forms that have to be translated? Yeah. Okay, these are the forms you got to translate into English if your beneficiary doesn't speak English. Okay. Letter of intent to get married. if the second one, or for the K1 visa before you submit it, you got to have a letter of intent to get married and a second letter of intent to get married, dated and signed about 2 weeks before the embassy interview. Okay. And if your beneficiary cannot speak English, he or she has to write the letter of intent to get married into his or her foreign language. Karina wrote hers in Spanish. She can't speak English, so she wrote it in Spanish. Okay. And then I got it translated into English, and then she went and got it notarized. Now, she didn't have to do that. It's not necessary, but she went into Bogota. I went with her into Bogota, went to a notary, got it notarized, and they did all their stamping and seals and all that other stuff, which means that added strength to the letter of intent to get married. I put that in the K1 visa package with mine. So I had her letter of intent to get married translated into English, with the English translation and the certification from the company, the Spanish group that did it. Now, the Spanish group don't pay me to say that, but they're a good company. They get it done. Okay, next thing you got to translate into English would be a birth certificate. If you have a birth certificate in a foreign language, like it's in Japanese or it's in Spanish or South Korean or whatever, like a country like, if it's in Farsi or Hindi or whatever, you got to get it translated into English. The birth certificate of the K1 and any K2 derivatives. So if you're bringing 3 people to America, you have to produce 3 birth certificates, and they all have to be translated into English. Police certificates. Okay, Karina got police certificates from Venezuela and Colombia. I translated them into English, and I included them in the K1 visa package at the very beginning, a year and a half ago almost. Do you have to include them in the K1 visa package? Police certificates? No. Why did I do that? I wanted to strengthen the visa package, make it strong. Immigration at USCIS looked and said, oh, okay, she's got a clean record, no good, no problems, everything's good. Venezuela and Colombia, good to go. And then we're going to get new police certificates. Now, the police certificates are good for 2 years from the date of issue. They're good for 2 years. But it's easy for me or for Karina to get new police certificates. So we'll get new police certificates probably a month before once I get the visa interview scheduled, then we'll print 2 new ones and get them translated into English by the certified translation company. And then we'll bring them to the embassy. So that's letters of intent to get married, that's birth certificates, and that's police certificates. Okay. Those are the main ones that you must translate. Okay. Now, if you have a birth certificate, let's say from India, and it's in English and in Hindi, you don't have to translate it as long as the immigration officer can read it. There's the Philippines. The birth certificate in the Philippines could be in Tagalog and in English, or in, Algeria, Libya, wherever. If you have it already done, translated on the paperwork, it's a bilingual birth certificate, then don't worry about it. But if you don't, you got to get them put into translated. Okay. So letter of intent to get married, birth certificate, police certificate. Now, any other documents that you have to get translated, like Karina is a college educated. So I got all of her college transcripts from the university in Caracas, Venezuela. Her college transcripts were all in Spanish. Her paperwork, everything's in Spanish. So I got it translated into English. And, and I included that in her K1 visa package. Did I have to do that? No. Why did I do that? Well, immigration, they looked at her college transcripts and she's like, well, she's got an equivalent degree in tax accounting. That's the other thing I did. I got her college degree converted into a U.S. equivalent. Okay. She's got an equivalency of a degree in tax accounting. So I put that in the K1 visa package. So immigration were looking and like, wow, she's got a degree in tax accounting. That's good in the United States. Wow. That helped her K1 visa significantly, right? She's employable, right? With a diploma like that. And I got that translated into English. So let's suppose you're a doctor or a lawyer or an engineer or or a tax accountant or a CPA or whatever it is in your home country. Let's suppose you are an Israeli doctor engaged to an American, and you have a doctor, a medical certificate and it's all in Hebrew. No one can read it. Get it translated into English, include it in the K1 visa package. Bring that to the embassy. Well, they may not, or they may ask for it. Okay, but when you fill out the DS-160, they're going to ask you of your beneficiary's education. So Karina will fill out the DS-160. Have you been to college? Yes. You're a graduate? Yes. When that goes to the immigration officer at the embassy, they'll read it. Oh, okay, college grad, tax accounting. Wow. That makes her case really strong, right? She's not going to be in the United States without any qualifications. Let's see here. So those are the ones, Ashley, for translation, the main ones. Police certificate, letter of intent to get married, birth certificates. You don't need to translate the passport biographic page because it's pretty much easy to understand it. Okay, you can see, like in Karina's Venezuelan passport, it says, it says everything is kind of like in English and Spanish, which is unusual, but it is. So she's good on the passport. Ayus, hi Diego, did you receive your welcome letter? If so, how did you receive it? IUS, no. I got an email case number. The welcome letter will come in an email. They'll email it to me when they get around to it very soon, because I sent 2 inquiries checking on them. Then I'll print the welcome letter on my printer right here in my office. Then I'll have it. Then I'll put it in that folder that I put together for Karina's visa interview. Y05, thank you, Diego. No, Charlie, no problem, Y05. Karina said, don't waste your time with emails to Venezuela. The power is always going out. The communication is horrible there. Go face to face to the office where your beneficiary lives in Caracas, Venezuela, or just outside in the barrio, okay, in the pueblo. She's living outside of the Caracas. Have her jump on a bus, go to Caracas, go to the office, and do a follow-up. And she needs to get that passport, okay? So I recommend she does it this week. Paya, India. Hi, Diego. Paya, what's going on? How is everything in India? How is everything? Jeff Mantalk, thank you, Diego. No problem. Glad to be here for you guys. Pershant Kumar is at something. Paya, Parindi, India. Did you get your appointment for K1? No, not myself. Not yet. I will. Francois Livingston, Diego, are you familiar with the app Lawfully? It tracks all types of visa cases. I have gotten notification from them ahead of USCIS for the same thing. Well, I don't like putting anything on my phone, okay? I keep the apps on my phone to a bare minimum because I don't want anybody tracking my phone. Suddenly there's a back door into my bank account or whatever. So I don't put any apps on my phone other than YouTube and Facebook. That's it. But Lawfully, I've heard, is a good app for your phone. And if you want to use it and it's helpful, you can use it. No problem with that. It's a good thing. Whoop slap, I got contained this, right? Lisa Washington. Hello, Diego. I received an email from the NVC stating that our case is ready, but we'll be at the suspended visa service. What to do next? Well, now, I've never heard of a suspended visa service. Never heard of it. That's the first I've ever heard of that. But if you have a ready status and it's saying suspended visa service, probably what that means is that it's at the embassy and they're processing it. This is a guess. The embassy is processing it. If you have ready status, you should be able to go into the SIAC account, go into US Travel Docs, and see if you can file submit the DS-160. And don't forget, when you submit the DS-160, you got to print that confirmation page. Now, the only reason I'm here in Florida right now and not in Colombia with my beautiful prometida Karina is because I don't have a printer at my apartment, okay? And I got to print stuff. I don't have a printer in my apartment in Bogota. But I got to be able to print the confirmation page. I got to be able to print the MERV receipt. I got to be able to print the welcome letter. So that's why I'm here. Soon as I get all that stuff done, I'm on a plane to Colombia. I'll make a video at the airport. You guys, I'll make a little video of the plane taking off from Miami, and unless it's at nighttime, I'll take a video of the plane landing in Bogota. I'll put it all together so you guys can see. Let's see. Lisa Washington, we have our case and invoice number. Well, you're right there. You're getting there right close to the end. Ruben Torres, hi Diego. We have our NOA 2 today after 365 days. Good deal. We are very happy. We're happy for you, Ruben. The only problem is that there's a typo error in the fiance's last name. A typo error in which letter? The NOA 1 or the NOA 2? If you have a USCIS account, okay, you have a USCIS account online, go in there, and there's a place where you can fix typographical errors. It says, what do you want to do? I want to fix the spelling mistake. Okay, you can do it online. You put in your case number, your beneficiary's name, etc., your email address. Don't forget the email address, and send them an email. Say, hey, you spelled the name wrong, and then they will send you a new letter. Okay, but you can do it online in the USCIS case status online account. All right, you got that, Ruben. S. Sanilla Sunny, hey, how long you wait to get case number after NOA 2? About 115 days. USCIS were, I guess, taking a long nap on my K1 visa. So I sent them an inquiry twice. So it took about 115 days. But the NVC is getting pretty quick right now. So things are speeding up there. So don't base that on your visa. Okay, you'll probably get yours a lot quicker than I did. Remember, this is my second K1 visa, so they probably had a lot of stuff to investigate at the NVC. USCIS took 407 days to investigate my visa. The NVC took 115 days to investigate my visa. Now I got a case number. So don't compare my time frame with your time frame, okay? Don't do that, because you're going to get yours quicker than mine. Lewis Stop 17. Hey, Diego, did you get your welcome letter? No, not yet. I asked because you've been waiting for a while now and see where we stand as far as how many days after being approved. Yeah, we got a case number. Okay, Louis Stop 17. We got a case number. Now I'm just waiting for the welcome letter. But remember, my K1 visa was 4 albums this thick. 1, 2, 3, 4. It probably weighed 5.5 pounds. So there's a lot of information they got to dig through. So then they got to scan it. They have to scan the documents, okay? Scan, scan, scan. Then they send that to the embassy. So I created a lot of work for immigration. Well, I paid them to do it. Cost me $535, okay? Like you did. You paid for your K1 visas. And so we're just waiting on the welcome letter. Let's see here. Faris Hassan. Hey, Diego. My NOA 1 is September 28th, 2022. When do you think I'll get my NOA 2? Probably the first week of October. And what happens with USCIS right now? Are they getting faster? Oh, yeah. USCIS are knocking out probably 400 or 500 K1 visas a day. Let's say 500 a day. Okay? That's how fast they're going. But remember, every K1 visa goes through 2 security checks now, not 1. That's why it gets slowed up. In the past, when I submitted my first K1 visa in 2016, it took 9 months to do the whole thing. Boom, 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 boom. And I got an RFE. Okay. But this time around, it's taking longer because they go through 2 security checks. One person does their part of it. Then they hand it off to somebody else. Then they do their part. Then they approve it. They agree or they don't agree with whatever the decision of the first person made. If they agree, they both agree, then they send it to the NVC. So that's how it's working right now. And so the process is slowed up a little bit because of the double security checks. but they're still moving pretty quick. May Cruz Madriaga. Hey Diego, good morning. Buenos dias. Well, it's evening time here. I would like to share that our case is ready now. Good deal. That's great. July 2022, NOA 2, July 2026, 2023. Case ready, September 14th. I am from the Philippines. May Cruz Madriaga. That's great. And thanks for watching from the Philippines. Kamusta ka? Remember now, mahirat ang buhay. Okay? You got to be strong during this K1 visa process, and you're getting there. You're almost at the finish line. Okay? Tashalin's World, yes, visa interview. Okay. Well, let's see here. S. Sanila Sunny, Diego, I'm the sponsor in the United States. My fiance is in India. Okay, no worries. When you go to the visa interview, see if they'll let you in. John K, thanks, Diego. I feel more confident about bringing my fiance here. Yeah, no problem. Her visa interview date is November 30th in Phnom Penh. Yeah, Phnom Penh, Cambodia. Yeah, it's a piece of cake. She'll go in, do her interview, turn in her passport. Then she'll get her visa, put in her passport. And then I would recommend you go pick her up and bring her to the United States. So it's, reduce the stress levels on your beneficiary, guys. I'm going to go as soon as I can. I'm going to Colombia. I am allowed to live in Colombia for 90 days, and then I have to leave or renew my visa for another 90 days. I only can go there for a maximum of 180 days. So that's why I'm still here hanging out in Florida. Besides waiting on paperwork. And $10, we got a big old super chat there from Benny Yao. Benny Yao is back in the house. Now, Benny Yao, his beneficiary lives in the Ivory Coast. And he flew to the Ivory Coast and spent some time with her, then came back to the United States. And we were doing a live stream, and he was at the hotel in New York City waiting for his flight to the Ivory Coast. Benny Yao is a good supporter, a fantastic supporter of this channel. So thank you, Benny Yao, for that super chat. We appreciate you. Let's see here. Let me go back down. I got lots of questions. John K. John K. You're going to get your beneficiary is going to be in her K1 visa is going to be in her passport, and then she's going to be here for Christmas. You're going to have Christmas together. Faris Hassan, were there any approvals from September today? They're working on October. There were a bunch of approvals for September today. Yes, Faris, a bunch, at least 300 plus. Diddy Vaughn, hey Diego, I sent an inquiry to the NVC. It said they have forwarded my case to the embassy, but no case number. Does that mean in transit? Well, you need a case number, Diddy Vaughn. So when you get the ready status from the embassy, okay, email the embassy and check in with them. And then they'll send you the information that's required for you to continue the process. So at least they've got your case on the way. Okay, that's great. Azar me docked. Hi Diego, I got NOA 2 today. What do I do now? What is the next step? Okay, Azar, now you have to wait about 60 days, 80 days, 90 days, somewhere in there. And you're going to wait for the National Visa Center to contact you. All right? They're going to contact you with an email, with a ready status, okay, or a case number or an invoice number. You just got to wait for the National Visa Center, okay? So put your feet up, kick back, and wait for the NVC. Francois Livingston, I made typos, so that's why I deleted. No, you're good, Francois. Tony Gamble, hey, waiting for an interview day in Lagos, Nigeria, okay, for fiancé visa, no problem. Do you know how long they are taking? It's taking quite a bit of time, Tony. Lagos, Nigeria seems to be in a backlog right now. So it could be six months, I would say. 4 to 6 months. But they're processing visas. It's just not quick. Ruben Torres, do I need the NOA 2 on hand for the embassy interview? Yes. I live in Naples, Florida, but I'm living with my beautiful fiance in Argentina. Well, man, Ruben, you're in Argentina. I like the new president of Argentina. Didn't you guys just have an election down there, and you just got a new president? Wasn't he like in a rock and roll band back in the day? But he's a fantastic guy. I like him. If it's the guy I'm thinking about. But yeah, you need the NOA2 letter for the interview, for the visa interview, but just a copy. All right. So you just need a copy of it. Get somebody to make a copy of it and send it to you. You need the I-134 filled out too, and filled out and signed. Let's see. Let me see. I don't want to miss anybody. Ruben, yeah, you're in Naples, Florida. That's down south on the west coast of Florida. Josh, being ready since July 19th for Mexico. They're taking so long to issue appointments. Yeah, Mexico, Ciudad Juarez, Mexico City. They're busy also. They're busy, but you're going to get the visa. Okay, just got to be patient. You know, look at Ruben. He's down in Argentina with this beautiful Prometida. You know, so he's doing good. I'll be in Colombia soon. I'm not going to leave here until I get everything printed. You know, I don't have a printer in my apartment, so I can't print stuff. I could probably figure it out, but I'm not going to take that chance. I'm getting everything done right before I leave and then fly on a plane to Colombia. And then I'll do the live stream from Bogota. And Karina will be sitting with me if she wants to, if she's not busy. But let's see here. Ivis Ordonez. Diego, if I choose to do the interview in English, do you think it might provide a benefit? Or is it preferable to conduct it in Spanish? Ivis, which country? Which country? If you can speak English, if you can speak English, it would be better to do it in English. If your English is good and you can understand. Tu entiendes pregunta? If you understand the question from the immigration officer in English, try to do it in English. That's a big check. That's a big plus for you. It's a good thing. It's a benefit, yes, Ivis. If you can speak English fluently and you can understand the questions, tu entiendes preguntas para señor, señora, bien. Responde en español. It's good. Responde en inglés, no en español. Janny Brielle is talking to Tashalin. Kaiser H. Diego, under which category does the K1 fiancé visa fall under? Immigrant visa. It's immigrant visa. What is the reasoning behind the classification? Okay, Kaiser H. The K1 visa is the same category as a B2 tourist visa in the home country. In the beneficiary's home country, it's treated as a non-immigrant visa. But when you get to the United States of America, when you're here, it's an immigrant. You're going to be processing an immigrant. You're going to be treated as an immigrant, okay, for the green card. So the embassy classifies it as non-immigrant, right? But you as the sponsor fill out the I-134, not the beneficiary. If you are coming to the USA on a tourist visa, the B2, the beneficiary fills out the I-134. If you're coming to the United States on a one-way visa, K1, to live in America and get married, the sponsor fills out the I-134. The beneficiary does not touch it, doesn't put a finger on it, doesn't sign it, nothing. So so when you go into the SIAC account, okay, you're going to click on immigrant visa, not non-immigrant. If you click on non-immigrant, you won't find the category for K1. You'll find B2, you'll find F1, you'll find student visas, you'll find everything under the sun but K1. If you go to immigrant visa, then you page down, you're going to find it there as on the K1, okay? So it's treated, it's technically a non-immigrant visa, okay, because it's a temporary visa. But when you get to the United States, you change that visa into a green card, so you become an immigrant. That's the reasoning behind it, all right? I know it's confusing, but I'm trying to make it as simple as possible for you to understand. Thievi Stray POV. Hi, Diego, my fiance in Cambodia. Beautiful Cambodia. I got NVC letter in 45 days from NOA2. Now my case is in transit. Look at you, man. 45 days. So the NVC are getting quicker. That's good. I'm glad to hear that. They're just slow on my visa because it's just a nightmare for them privately. They got so much stuff they got to look at. Ashley Santana, does the beneficiary have to sign the beneficiary statement on the I-134? No. No. The beneficiary does not touch the I-134. Okay? The I-134 is filled out by the sponsor. The sponsor signs it and dates it. Everything is about the sponsor. Now, there's information on there about the beneficiary. Does she or he have any dependents? They ask, her income or his income, whatever. But it's all irrelevant. Okay? Income, 000. Now, Karina's got a fantastic job. She's a manager of ice cream stores. She makes good money. But when I fill out her I-134, immigration don't care how much money she makes in Bogota, Colombia. They couldn't care less, because she's going to quit her job and move to the United States of America, and I'm responsible for her. She becomes my responsibility. So immigration are going to look at my income, my I-134. So I sign it, I date it. The beneficiary does not touch the I-134, doesn't fill it out or anything, okay? Doesn't sign it. And how much should I put for specific contributions to the beneficiary? Okay, the specific contribution you're going to put to the beneficiary is your total yearly income, Ashley. So however much money you make in a year, that's what you're going to contribute to your beneficiary, because you guys are going to get married, right? Getting married. So that means what's yours is hers or his, and what's his is hers, yours is what's his is hers. It's 50-50. So when you fill out the I-134 and they ask you what is your specific contribution to the beneficiary, you'll put in there. There's a little statement you can put in there that will be 100% of support, medical insurance, housing, everything. That's the statement. Okay, you're going to cover your beneficiary for everything: housing, food, support, and then for income. The income is going to be whatever you make for a year. So whatever I made in 2022, that's my contribution to Karina on my I-134. Okay? Do you understand that? S. Sanila Sunny is talking to Kaiser H. Bahu. Diego, my fiance, got her visa. Bahu. High five, man. Well, good job. So you're going to go pick her up and fly her to America, right? And walk her through immigration so she doesn't have to go through that by herself. You're going to go get her. Kaiser's talking to Sansila Sunny. Bahu. And Diego, my fiance, got her visa from India. Okay, Bahu, answer this question for people on here. Is the sponsor allowed to go to the consulate in Mumbai with the beneficiary in India? I'm thinking they can, okay? But it depends on the day and how busy they are, right? John Labatt, Diego, Karina, hola, John. And to everybody. John is saying hello to everybody. Just a heads up for the U.S. tax transcripts. When calling IRS, take note. If you do not hear all of the 8 instructions, let it return to the beginning and listen again. That's good information, John Labatt. You are absolutely correct. And you don't hang up once the tax transcript. Once you've hit the button for the tax transcript, don't hang up. Wait for the person in that electronic voicemail to ask you, do you need any more voice? Do you need any more tax transcripts? You put no. Then they hang up for you. That will make sure you get the tax transcript in the mail. Don't just hang up when you put yes, I want 2022 tax transcripts, and then okay, that's good, I hang up. Don't do that. You gotta go through the whole process. S. Sanila Sunny, the green card falls under immigrant visa. That's right. After 2 years or so, no, not after 2 years or so. After 2 years, you can apply for citizenship. No, that's not correct. Sanila Sunny, that is We appreciate you trying to help people, but that's not correct. Okay? Let me tell you the correct information. When you get to the United States of America, Mr. Beneficiary, you're going to get a 2-year green card. It's a probationary green card. Okay? After 3 months before that 24-month green card expires, you have to file to lift the conditions off of that green card. If you don't, you will be deported. You don't want to get deported, right? So you got a 2-year green card. And on the green card, there's an issue date. Okay? 3 months back. So count 90 days back from when that green card expires. Then you apply for the 10-year green card. You lift the conditions off that 2-year green card. Then you get a 10-year green card. Once you have been in America for 3 years, uno, dos, tres, un, deux, trois. Okay, once you have been in America for 3 years, from the date of that issue date on the first green card, then right before, just a few days before the 3 years, I would say a month before, you can apply for U.S. citizenship. Okay, you got that, guys? You get a 2-year green card with an issue date. 3 months before that green card expires, you apply for a 10-year green card. If you don't, you're going to be booted out of the country. Then you get your 10-year green card. 3 years from the issue date on the 2-year green card, when it started, that when you then can apply for U.S. citizenship. But you got to stay in America. You can't go on vacation back to Argentina or Peru for 6 months, because that's going to mess up your U.S. citizenship. If you apply for U.S. citizenship after 3 years from the issue date on your green card, and you spent 6 months in Vietnam, immigration may not approve your citizenship. They might not think you're loyal to the United States. They'll say, well, you were in 6 months in Australia. Why did you go back to Australia for 6 months? Do you not want to live here? My advice to you guys, beneficiaries, get your 2-year green card. If you want to go visit your home country for a vacation, go for a 2-week vacation. But don't leave the country if you leave the country for longer than 6 months, your green card could be terminated. Don't do that. Don't do it. Get your green card, come to America, live here, be happy, go on vacation, fine. But your ultimate goal is to become a U.S. citizen. The best way to get citizenship without any hassle from immigration is don't leave the United States. Come to America, get married, and live here. After 3 years, apply for citizenship. Boom. You're good. You get it. Boom. Just take a test. There's 100 questions. It's easy. You study up on American history. You got to be able to read English, and you got to be able to write English. Basic English. Read and write basic English. Learn about the history of our country. Y05, Diego, is learning English a benefit for my fiance for the K1 visa interview? Yeah, absolutely. If your fiance in Venezuela can speak English, great. That's a benefit, definitely. But if she's trying to throw out some English words and can't speak English, if she just memorizes some phrases, then the immigration officer starts engaging her in questions in English. You don't want that. Then there would be a problem. If she knows how to speak English fluently, that's great. That's good. But if all she's doing is memorizing phrases, then stay with Spanish. Tashlin's World. Bahu. If you speak English, you have more chance to get visa. No, it's an equal opportunity visa, okay, based on if you qualify for the benefit for the sponsor and for the beneficiary. It's got nothing to do with whether you can speak English or not. Immigration expects you to learn English when you get to the United States. They know you're going to learn. I got dust bunnies. Then you're going to learn. It's got nothing to do with the K1 visa. But it helps if you can speak English. Sure, it definitely helps. It doesn't mean you get a better chance at the visa. It just means that the immigration officer will look more highly upon that person for learning English. Tashlin's World, Diego got engaged without a ring on my birthday at a hotel where we stayed back in October of 2021. But he kept big surprise party with my family and friends in April 2022. Will that be a problem at the interview? No, you're good. Tashlin's World, no worries, no problem. What did you do at the party? Did you have lots of food or what? Seven Angels, hi Diego. How are you doing, brother? Seven, doing great. Doing fantastic. Having a great live stream with our K1 Visa team right here. Let's see. Tashlin's World's talking to Jenny. Lisa Washington, I meant that I received an email from the NVC stating that the visa service has been suspended in Monrovia, Liberia. So our case will be at the NVC until further notice. Now, okay, now I understand. Okay, Lisa. So the U.S. Embassy in Liberia you're getting an email from the NVC saying that the embassy in Monrovia are right now, they're probably overworked. They're overwhelmed with visa processing. So they've closed the processing. No, they haven't stopped processing K1 visas. They've just stopped accepting new ones from the NVC. But I don't trust anything the NVC tells me. So what I would do is I would email the embassy in Monrovia or call the embassy in Monrovia and ask them, hey, are you guys processing K1 visas? Find out. Okay, find out what's going on. Call the embassy. Don't believe NVC. I don't believe what they tell me. Angel Mercia. Hola Diego. Hola Angel. ¿Cómo estás? ¿Tú bien? Seven Angels. We got our case number last week. 7, high five. Tina, how far in advance can we get documents translated? Get them done now. I got Karina's birth certificate translated in 2021. I got them right here at the house, and she has copies at our apartment in Colombia. Get it done now. You're good. Let's see. But the letter of intent to get married, the second letter of intent to get married has to be signed about 2 weeks before the embassy interview. So get that translated probably a month before the embassy interview, so you got time to get it done, and then sign it, date it a month before, 2 weeks before, but then get it translated if it's required. And Benny Yao, thank you, Benny Yao, for that super chat. I appreciate that. Karina and I, all the super chats, we're going to go and we're going to eat go to some restaurants in Bogota and celebrate you guys. We'll salute you guys, and I'll make a video. Okay, to our super chat supporters at the restaurant, and we'll get the restaurant owner, a friend of ours, to give you guys a salute. Tina, where can we find interpreters for the interview? Which country? Some embassies don't need an interpreter. Some embassies, like in Bogota, Colombia, they speak Spanish and English. Remind me of the country. Guy Trainer, the embassy in the Dominican Republic, sent me an email stating that they were ready for me to schedule my interview. However, the only slots left are for OFC interviews, not K1s, for 2023. Okay, email the embassy, call the embassy, and ask them if that's true. Because if they sent you ready status, that means they're ready for you, right? Ready status means they're ready. So I would email them and ask them. And then keep trying every day. Look and look and look and look and look and then you're going to find a slot. And then Guy Trainer, how often do they update the interview status? And how far out do they schedule K1 visa interviews? Because I've been checking 4 to 5 times a day. Keep doing that. Keep doing that. Keep doing what you're doing, and you'll get in there, okay? Let me see here. Diddy Vaughn. Diego, they said they forwarded my visa to the U.S. Embassy or Consulate the 12th of September, 2023. I was asking if it means in transit, and how long does it take to get to the embassy? Let's take Colombia for an example, okay? When I get the ready status or in transit, When I get the in transit or the FTP1 email, the in transit, they say 2 weeks to 3 weeks for it to get from the NVC to Bogota, Colombia. Okay, 2 to 3 weeks. Some embassies are more busy than others. Okay, the Bogota apparently is one of the busiest embassies in the world right now. So, Yvonne, it depends on which embassy and how busy they are. Okay, like in Liberia. The best thing is to call the embassy and email them. Check in with the embassy. When you get ready status, email the embassy with your beneficiary's passport number, case number, invoice number, name, date of birth, identify so the immigration at the embassy can find your beneficiary. Passport number is important also. You know, when Karina, she calls the U.S. Embassy in Bogota with questions, and they ask her for her passport number. And so then they'll say, well, you're not in our system right now. Well, no, she's not, because we're still waiting for ready status. So she's not going to show up in the computer at the embassy in Bogota. So, but they ask her, what's your passport number? What's your date of birth, name, and all that. So that's how it works, guys. You know, it's not easy, and it's a slow process, and it's not going as quick as you want it to go. We know that. Okay. We're in the same boat as you guys. We're rolling down the Rio. Okay. We've got to go in front of the scary immigration officer, just like you guys. All right. We're still waiting to do that. All right. And we're giving you information about our K1 visa to help you understand the process. But don't compare your K1 visa to my K1 visa. My K1 visa is technically challenging, because I had a K1 in the past, back in 2016. So immigration, they had to go through all kinds of investigations to make sure that K1 visa was canceled, that the embassy canceled the visa interview, this and this and this. That's why my visa took so long. Okay. And then I got an email from the U.S. Embassy in Bogota saying, your IR1, your CL1's visa has been officially terminated and cannot be renewed. Your beneficiary will have to repeat the whole process from the beginning. And I'm like, dude, that's been done. That's been over for 3 years, 4 years. And then they finally send me an email telling me it's been completely wiped out. But what I think is happening is that the NVC is in contact with the embassy in Bogota, doing investigation on me, saying, hey, does Diego still have an active spousal visa in your embassy? Okay. So the embassy went and checked their files and said no. So NVC's like, okay, that's good. And then the embassy in Bogota emailed me and said, we've wiped out your case from 2016. I'm like, dang, that's been done and over with for years. And then I get this email from them. So anyway, that's immigration has a record of everything, guys. Okay. So just remember that. They have a record of everything. Okay, guys, I've been talking for an hour and 13 minutes. Throw some more questions at me, or I'm going to go and make a cheese sandwich and drink a Mountain Dew. So I'll give you a few minutes to think about some questions, and then I'm going to head out of here. And what day is it today? Monday? The next live stream is going to be Wednesday at 7 p.m. Unless you want me to do it. Oh, wait a second here. My computer is like freezing up, but there's a super chat here I didn't see, guys, and I apologize. And it's from Francois. Francois, what a high five for that super chat. Francois Livingston says, thank you for all you do for all of us. Get some more Mountain Dew. Francois, thank you so much. Thank you. I didn't see it. It didn't show up on my computer, on my stream here until right this second. But thank you, Benny Yao and Francois, for the super chats. If I got no more questions from you guys, I'll be here on Wednesday at 7 p.m. But I'll do a surprise live stream during the week, if you like, tomorrow, if you want, in the morning. Tuesday, Monday morning. Today's Monday. Tuesday, I can do a live stream. I can do one Thursday, Friday, whenever you want. I'll do a surprise. But you can guarantee, I will be here Mondays, Wednesdays, and Saturdays at 7 p.m. Okay, guys? So I'm going to go head out and go make a sandwich, and I'll see you guys Wednesday at 7 p.m. Central Time to continue the chat and so I can continue to help you get through this K-1 visa process. All right, guys? We'll see you then.